Introducing the all-new Corolla.
Reality comes from the brain.
With only one chance to give closing arguments, defense attorney Eric Miller underscored to a 12-panel jury the importance of disregarding emotions involved in the case. He called upon them to have courage and integrity to do what's right.
It's easy to get casual and slang and go, well, you know, this is a really bad situation. Let's talk about all the emotions involved and all these lives that changed as a result of the events of February 12th. And I don't mean to diminish that. I want you to have the courage and integrity to decide this case only on the evidence and not emotion.
Miller also spent a large portion of his arguments telling the jury that the prosecution's burden of proof is greater than the defense's. The prosecution needs to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense only needs to prove that DeSoto is more likely than not guilty by reason of insanity. Now, what this case boils down to is whether or not DeSoto was really insane at the time of the crimes, and much of that decision is weighted on the testimony and evidence provided by expert witnesses. DeSoto was evaluated at least 4 times. First, prison psychologist Dr. Andrea Lighthouser, who found no evidence of psychosis. Next, court-appointed psychiatrist Dr. Michael Kim also found no evidence of psychosis. Then, hired by the DeSoto family, psychiatrist Dr. Martin Blinder. He did find psychosis. And finally, for a second opinion, court-appointed psychiatrist Dr. Karen Fukutake, who also found evidence of psychosis.
You should consider the experience of the psychiatrists that are giving you these reports. Dr. Kim now has 4 years of experience. He had 3 at the time that he interviewed Chad DeSoto. Dr. Fukutake has 25 years of experience as a forensic psychiatrist. Dr. Blinder has 40 years of experience.
You also didn't want to talk about Dr. Lighthouser. You heard from 4 mental health experts, not 3, 4. He goes to the psychiatrist's office to perform, but he spends each day at the Department of Corrections. She didn't do a 1-hour or 2-hour evaluation. She evaluated him for a month. And experts' opinions are only as good as their facts. And remember that. You change the facts, and you can change the opinions.
And that's exactly what DeSoto did, according to Assistant Prosecutor Gerald Henderson. Henderson compared it to a test screening for a blockbuster movie. If the audience loves it, the movie stays the same. If they don't, you rewrite the script. From one authority to the next, Henderson says, DeSoto rewrote his script.
Because he's told 3 very different stories. In the first story, he's the villain. In the second, he's kind of the victim. And in the third, he's the hero. You're likely to conclude the one closest to the truth is one closest in time. So what does he say 4 hours after the attacks? Right? Well, he was aiming at them because he was frustrated at life. He tells Dr. Blinder, I could not control my actions. I was out of control. So did he understand right from wrong? I was so relieved when I was pushed down to the ground and beaten because I couldn't stop myself. He says he understands right from wrong right there.
Finally, 9 months later, Henderson says, DeSoto's story to Dr. Fukutake is now the complete opposite.
When it hit the gas pedal, I could see it, but it was like I was possessed. I was the most anxious I'd ever been. I didn't want to hit people. Wait a second. Before he was doing because he's angry and frustrated at life. So he has to toss out the 4-hour statement. And now we're at 9 months.